Did you know that parents rank financial literacy as the #1 most difficult life skill to teach? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app for families. With Greenlight, you can send money to kids quickly, set up chores, automate allowance, and keep an eye on your kids' spending with real-time notifications. Kids learn to earn, save, and spend wisely, and parents can rest easy knowing their kids are learning about money with guardrails in place. Try Greenlight risk-free today at greenlight.com/Wondery.
Kids, listen to your mother.
Mom!
Welcome to Between Us Moms with Katie Crafts-Morg and Hallie Stevens-Drake.
Hey mamas, welcome to the podcast. Today is a very special day because not only am I joined by my mom, but surprise, my sister's here too. You guys know both of them joined me on the podcast when Katie was on maternity leave. Katie's mom was on last week. It was a gorgeous episode. I hope you guys listened to it. If you haven't, go back and listen. It was so good, and it'll really give you insight into Katie. I just love meeting people's moms because doesn't it just tell you so much about who they are? Anyway, my ladies are back, my two favorite moms. But guys, thanks for being here.
You're welcome.
Thanks for having us again.
Thanks for pizza.
Yeah, we ordered pizza. We do have wine. So if you're listening to this and it is happy hour or if it's brunch, please pour a glass and
8:00 in the morning. No judgment.
no judgment. But if you're watching your children, maybe don't. Or do. I don't know. Okay, so we're just going to dive right in. I have questions for my mom. I have questions for my sister. And we're just going to see where this little combo takes us. Mom, I'm going to start with you.
Okay.
What is a piece of advice about motherhood that you wish you had ignored?
Well, I don't think I got any advice about motherhood before I was a mother. I really don't. And I've said this before, and I was thinking about it recently. I think my generation of moms were better off because aside from our own mothers and grandmothers who might say, don't you think you need a sweater? Or do you think they need socks?
By the way, you do that all the time. So,
I do that?
yes, you do it
Oh, God help me.
all the time. But continue.
I am gammy because I used to say, if I thought she needed a sweater, she'd be wearing one.
Mhm.
But anyway, I don't think I got any real advice. And I kind of felt like I was winging it. And it didn't feel bad. It felt okay. Except, in the very beginning, I thought, I don't know anything and I'm bringing you home and I'm sorry.
I
But
do
it's
remember you
okay.
saying you had this moment in the car on
Oh
the
my God. I
ride.
cried. I lost it. I was hormonal and I said, I am so sorry. I haven't finished reading anything. I don't know anything about how to raise you, but I'll do the best I can.
I think that's every mom's experience leaving the hospital with your firstborn. Like Hannah, your firstborn, came 3.5 weeks early, and you weren't really prepared.
No, the car seat was still in the box. I had not finished my maternity leave sub plans. I'm a teacher and have to have like legit stuff in place. Not any of it was ready. I was supposed to be working on it that weekend. So I was at one counter writing sub plans at 4 in the morning when my water broke, and Miles was at the other counter opening the car seat box and trying to figure out how to do it and install. And we both were just like, well, F it, and we'll just go and figure it out as we go. And that's what we did.
I remember when the nurses were like, all right, you can go. I was like,
Wait.
are you sure? I don't know. Are you coming with us? Like, I don't think this is legal for me to leave with this baby. I don't know that I am equipped.
I'm missing something.
Right. Can you show me how to swaddle like maybe 6 more times? I do think that our generation is really at a disadvantage because we Google everything. And like
Everything.
I always tell Katie, get off Reddit because the woman loves a Reddit thread and she will go on the deep dive. Now, she is the ultimate researcher, but I had such bad anxiety the first time because I was just Googling everything. And Hannah, is there a piece of advice that you wish you had ignored?
I feel like for me, the biggest stressor for me at first was nursing. It was not the like Hollywood picture that I feel like, and even like other people I know where it just happened instantly. That was not Hudson's journey. He wanted no part of that. And so I kept feeling like I needed to, and I felt so stressed to the point where it was affecting me physically. My blood pressure was off the charts. And the second I finally, like everyone kept saying, just keep trying. It's what's best. It's the best thing. And then my doctor was like, your baby's fed. That's what's best and your health. So I kind of felt like once I had that permission to let that go, our journey was just a little different. He didn't nurse, but he was still breastfed and we took the scenic route there. But it's just so stressful. And I think that's also like a little bit of the older generation because that was, I feel like, the only way.
Yeah.
Our parents' generation, they all stayed at home. And so there was the more flexibility to do that, where with our generation and the millennials, I feel like we kind of are leading that pact of we're still working. Not everybody, but I feel like a lot of moms our age are also working moms. And so you have to do like bottle, or whether it's breastfed through a bottle or formula. So I feel like I was getting all the noise, and you really just have to, like, I feel like once I let that go, I had to listen to what worked best for our family. And almost like if I didn't want to share about it, or if I was insecure about it, I didn't talk about it. But if I felt like this is something that is really meaningful to me, I would share with others, because I felt like there was someone else out there who's probably in the same boat and needs to hear someone say it's okay to do what works for you, even if it's not what works for someone else.
I think we need to normalize not giving moms advice, period, unless it's asked for.
I really genuinely think everyone is coming from a good place. People would come at me and say, like, oh, but breast milk is really best. And like, yeah, it is really good for them, but not at the expense of like your mental health. And everyone comes from a good place, wanting to share, like, here's what worked for us. But then it is hard because someone may hear that and not be receiving of it, and it's actually causing more harm than good.
And Mom, to your credit, I do feel like you are really good about not chiming in. Katie actually asked her mom this question. I thought it was great. Is there anything when you look at Hannah and I that you wish we would do differently as moms?
No, not at all. And honestly, your dad and I talk about this all the time. I wanted nothing more than to be a mom. That's all I really, really wanted. I mean, pretty simple person, I guess, but to me, being home with you all and raising you was what I was meant to do. And so I see the way you parent your children is so engaged and so sensitive, and you're like, you really listen and you have patience. But I feel like you all are doing it way better than I did, because both of you are managing careers, your homes, and two kids, and I didn't have that whole salad, and I was able to just focus on you all. So when I see that, a whole other thing, you're exhausted, you're distracted by work and pressures, and you're traveling and you're raising other people's children. So no, I think when I look at you all, I think you're doing a better job than I ever did. And I'm really proud of you all.
Well, we got to say we had the best
Yes.
example in you and Dad.
Oh, thanks.
It's true. I mean, Hannah, I know, feels the same way, but like anybody who has ever met you has always asked us what you did that made us all so close, like what the secret sauce was. And I know we talked about it the first time you came on the podcast, and you feel like a lot of it has to do with who we are. But I mean, I think most of it is who you are.
Yeah.
Well, I think one of the things is that from the get-go, I really felt, and your dad and I both recognize this, that you both were gifts from God, that you were his children, and he put you in our care. And so when you look at it from that perspective, I don't think we looked at it like you were an extension of us, or, our identity or anything like that. It was like we have this call to take care of God's children. They're these little people, and do the best we can by you to make you the happiest and the best human beings you can be. And we asked for his help, and honestly, we could not have been blessed with any better children, honestly. And I also knew I was an only child, so I didn't get the gift of seeing what it's like to be raised with another sibling or somebody else to share.
But Mom, that's what makes it so interesting, is that you didn't, I know you had a great relationship with Grandpa, but you didn't with your own mom. So like Hannah and I have this great example in you to go off of. Well, you just kind of were making it up as you went.
I knew what I wanted to be, was somebody who was calm and accepting, and fun.
Nailed it. Slay, slay, slay. Let's go to Hannah. What's been the most surprising thing to you about becoming a mom?
I mean, I feel like there's the obvious, the things that you hear, and like you hear people say, oh, the love that you have for them. But it doesn't matter how many times people really say that. I mean, this is like so obvious, but Mom, you used to always tell us, just wait until you're a mom. Just wait until you're a mom. And I would say like, oh, Mom, like just because it's my problem doesn't mean it's yours or whatever. And you were like, just wait till you're a mom. So I feel like there's things like that love that you have for them that really is just this, like, they are an extension of us as well. And so the other thing that I think is most surprising, and it's like, you know that they're going to get qualities and traits from you, but every day there's something that happens, and I'll look at Miles and I go, that's you. And then something else will happen and I go, well, that was me.
Yeah.
So, I think that's kind of, it's like every day's a little surprises, little gifts here and there to see like what they.
My friend Melissa, you guys know Melissa very well. She said something that I just loved so much. She's like, God, I just want to have like 100 children with my husband because it doesn't matter that it's the same two people. They're all going to be so different,
Yeah.
but still 50% you, 50% your husband.
Wow.
Isn't that wild? It's a duh, but it's also like, doesn't it make
That's
you?
really cool.
I know, doesn't that make you think?
It's like a math problem I can't figure out.
Yeah, we don't do
Like
math.
the odds and the chances and the blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, Stevens girls don't do math.
No, we don't need to.
No, that is right.
Because we're pretty.
That's a good point, Hannah. It is interesting. It is surprising to see how parts of you show up in them so early. Okay, Hannah, what's one thing you swore you would never do as a parent that you're doing now?
One thing I guess would be I was like, I don't want to be crazy about foods because I don't want, I know for us, we were never allowed to have fruit snacks or gummies in the house. You wouldn't buy them because you said it was terrible for our teeth.
We never had good snacks in our house.
No.
Never.
But so anytime I would go to a friend's house, it was like if they had them, that's all I wanted. And I would eat, like, we would both devour a bag of gummy bears if we had them in the house. Or if
Would.
ever
We
bought-
still
We
do.
still do because we were limited to it. So I said, I never want to be like that. I don't want to restrict. But now I feel like, again, back to all the noise of like, I mean, food now just is also different as we're all learning. But when I see all this stuff about red food, I mean, it's hard not to because we're just like, it's constantly in our face about like the effects and all that stuff. So I just feel like I don't restrict things. If it comes up, it's fine. But as he's having that, like, whatever it is, I'm thinking, oh my God, blue dye.
Restricting anything is going to make somebody want it more than anything.
Hannah and I didn't drink in high school. And everyone's always like, that's so rare. What was the deal? And I was like, well, my parents were always like, we trust you. If you're going to do it, just let us know. And like, always feel like you can call us if you ever, need anything. And so it was never like taboo or forbidden. And I just didn't want to disappoint you guys. So we were always there. We were always around it and we were at the parties, but
You
we
were
never.
designated drivers
Yes.
in my car.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, people puked in your car
Uh-huh,
for
uh-huh,
sure.
For sure.
Oh yeah, wasn't it? Didn't
Mm.
a friend of mine shat in your car?
I was just thinking about this. When y'all were in high school, I felt so committed to being really a good open listener to you all and not judging about friends or what you did or all that kind of stuff. And for the grace of God, both of you were really forthcoming about things. And Hallie, you would tell me things that your friends were doing. You would tell me like who was doing what with whom, and where you were going. And I would always feel like, I'm not sure I need to know this. And sometimes it would be somebody who was going on a trip to Michigan and their parents thought they were someplace else. And I knew the truth. And I would feel I would stay home and pray. I literally would sit home and pray. Don't let anything happen to these children because I may be complicit.
Well, you are our best friend, so we always told you everything, and I think that's why the trust was so there. But you also told us everything. I mean, I knew from a young age when you lost your virginity. I knew, like you never.
I told you about my first husband.
All of it. Like you
All of it.
never held back, and so it always felt like this open door.
That's good, I think.
Yeah, but would you rather us have not told you those things?
No, not at all.
She always says, don't do anything I wouldn't do. And we know everything you've done. So we know that really doesn't limit.
Yeah,
I haven't done everything,
she's done a lot though.
but I've not done everything.
What is, Mom, one thing you learned about yourself after becoming a mom?
I realized I was not very selfish.
Hmm.
I'm the only child, and people would say, "Oh, yeah, you probably got everything you ever wanted." But I realized that I was really focused on you all, not so much me.
It's funny. I feel like I've realized the exact opposite.
You're
I am selfish.
because you're trying to do so much.
Yeah.
I didn't. Long story short, I didn't have a career. I had quit teaching. I didn't want to do that anymore. I was trying to figure out what I was going to do. I didn't want to have somebody else raise you all and spend the money to do that and have a wardrobe and parking and all the things and let somebody else have those moments with you. So I said, I'm not doing it. And it was hard for our family. It really was because Tony quit his corporate job. started something on his own, and it was a lot. But he will say to this day that it was the best thing that we ever did because we had a choice. I don't think people have a choice. Women don't have a choice anymore for that. It's really hard to live on one income. And
Yeah, you boomers had it made in the shade.
I have it made in the shade, honestly. And
I do have to say, I think that's a good message to anyone listening who feels called to stay home. It wasn't comfortable for you and dad, and you just made it work.
and we had the only arguments we ever had was about money.
I know.
And I regret that you all were a party. You heard that.
Well, I've also said before Miles and I even got married, I said the one thing that I feel like triggers me is money. And I said, and we said that it's because literally the only time you and dad ever fought was because of money. And I said to him, I was like, I just don't want that. And so I think he's pretty good about not letting it be something.
Yeah. And I really feel like it's important for women to have their own source of their own income and to be responsible for it. And I was born in the 50s. I was born in 1950. That was not something that was really common. My generation was really like the first for women to really go to college. Lots changed.
Yes. Hannah, what do you think you've learned about yourself?
I feel like I'm not as patient as I thought I was.
Dude, ditto.
I truly told myself, I was like, here's the true test is this summer, now that I'm on summer break, seeing now that I'm not like, feel like I'm constantly like all day long with work overstimulated. And then I come home and then the overstimulation just continues. So it's basically from the moment the kids wake up to the moment they go to bed. And then I sit on the couch and I either doom scroll or I just sit and stare at reruns because it's just mindless, something I need to do. So I feel like sometimes by the end of the day, I'm just the littlest thing can set me and I'm like I know I'm taking deep breaths and Hudson will even say like, Mommy, are you frustrated? And then I feel bad because I mean, I feel bad that he is like, that I was that expressive about it, but at the same time, I'll take it as a win because the conversations we've had, he now knows what that emotion is. But yeah, the patience is the big one, I think.
What's something positive that you've learned about yourself since becoming a mom?
It's hard. I'm glad you say that because I feel like it is really easy to focus on the negative. Like I can do more than I ever thought I could. And just when I feel like I'm at my max, I'm not.
We're hard on ourselves.
Yes.
That is just the nature of motherhood. And Katie and I talk about that all the time. But I will say something I've learned about you is that you were born to do this. You were born to be a mom. I mean, I've never seen anyone be such a natural at something. I learned so much about being a mom from watching you do it. I do think like God put you on this earth to be a mom because it is so, you make it look so good. You make it look so easy. You're the mom who always has the things that like you anticipate every move, but also like these kids feel safe. And I see how Miles like defers to you and like has learned to be a dad from you, but you guys were both doing it at the same time for the first time. Does that make sense? Anyway, all right. Question for both of you. What's a moment in motherhood you felt like you really nailed it?
Oh gosh. No, I don't think I have one.
How about looking at how awesome we are and that we're well adjusted and
Okay. Okay. You guys graduated from really great schools and you went on to do things that you wanted to do and you're driving. You've never been arrested.
wow, the bar is very low.
No, I don't know. I don't know. I think it's not one moment. It's just
Culmination.
it's a culmination of like this is my resume.
I feel like that's a really hard question. I know what you're saying, Mom, because it's like I don't have like a one aha moment. And then like when I try to think about that question now, I'm like, I know I've had moments where like Miles and I literally look at each other and like, yeah, high five, like we did it. We're prepared. We had the extra outfit in the diaper bag, or we knew that he wasn't going to want this snack. He was going to want, I mean, little things like that. I don't know. I feel like that's a tough one.
When Dylan runs to give you guys a hug or says something sweet, Dylan will now say to me, Mommy, want to dance? And now that's when I feel like, all right, she's carefree. She wants to have fun with me. That feels safe. It's like she knows she can be silly with me. She hears music and she wants to like, I just, for some reason, I feel like, okay, I nailed it when she says that to me.
Okay, so now I'm thinking about this more. I feel like the empathetic piece. I feel like, raising a son, I just feel like there's a lot when I just look at the world. I'm like, what kind of man do I want him to grow up to be? And how do I want him, whoever his partner ends up being, what do I want him to get but also to give. And so I think just the way that he is able to see how other people feel and things like, it all starts with just talking about like, oh, I'm feeling this way. And we talk about our feelings. And then if I'm sad, I talk about it. And I say it. And when he's sad, I say it's okay to feel that way. And it's okay to feel sad. It may not feel good. We really talk about all of it, but I want him to be this well-rounded. And so when he's now noticing, he's remembering, from the last time he saw you that you had a cold and you had a cough. And he's like, how's your cough? Are you better? And then things like if I'm taking a deep breath, he knows, because I always say when we're feeling frustrated, we don't have to scream. I said, we don't scream, but we can take a deep breath and we can feel that frustration. So he knows now that when I'm feeling that way. So I'm like, you're seeing all the conversation in practice, like in application, like he's applying it all. And so I think that's really cool just to see, this little person that they're becoming. And I don't know.
And he is so sweet. Like he really is. He'll come up to Dilly and be like, "Are you okay, Dilly?" Or like he comes up to Dylan and gives her a hug. And I know often I feel like, oh my gosh, I have said this to her. Like, please say thank you in a full sentence. Or please, or ask me for that with a please in a full sentence so many times. And I'm like, is she ever going to do it without me prompting her? And then they just start doing it. And you're like, okay,
Okay,
we nailed it. We did it.
here.
It took forever, but we got there. We nailed it. We didn't back down. We kept on the lesson.
Yeah. Even just today, like Harper did not want the third nap. It was not happening. So I brought her down and he goes, she was crying. She was really upset. And he looks at her and goes, Harper, why were you sad? It's okay. It's going to be okay. And so like the way he was even talking to her, yeah, I feel like that is my moment, is the way that he is being the big brother that I've always imagined. Of course, there's going to be hiccups and moments along the way, I'm sure, but in this time, he's just like, I know like the seed, the root is there, that like how much he cares for her and how much he cares for Dilly and Collins. And so like seeing how that has just, it's starting to grow within them.
You laid the foundation and now, yeah. What's the most challenging part of being a mom that nobody talks about?
I don't know if it's that people weren't talking about it, but now I'm listening. The balance. I think with, at least for me, I look at a lot of the mothers that I've worked with for years, before I was even with Miles, before that motherhood was like before it was relevant to me. And I think, wow, like teaching's a great career for moms, and I feel like it used to be, but now it's the expectations for teaching and like for kids as well in school is so high, but the balance of like work doesn't end at 3 like it used to, I feel like. So it continues just because there's so much to be done, so trying to find that balance. And I think because I've watched other teachers that I've worked with make it look so easy. No one's talking about like how they micromanage themselves. No one's really saying like, well, this is what works, you just see them doing it. They leave school, they go, they do their kids' t-ball, they go to gymnastics, they take them to swim, all their clubs, all their camps, and then they talk about how they're making dinner. And I truly am like, well, how many extra hours in a day are you getting that I'm not? Because I feel like I get the kids who come home. I'm so thankful that Miles works from home. He usually cooks dinner, because otherwise I think I get home and it's like 4:30 and I think, okay, how would I cook? Like if a meal took an hour to prep, how am I going to do that while also like watching Harper and like, so I just think it's interesting. That piece of it seems so hard, the time management of it all. And I think for every person it's different, and it's not like anyone's holding out. It's just,
It's like we don't have time to talk about it.
yeah, laundry,
Ooh.
not just doing it, folding it, all that. It's really the folding the little people's clothes. I feel like will go through a basket and I'm spending an hour and I'm still up to my elbows in little people's clothes.
I have a hack for you. Get you a man who does the laundry because Andrew does all our laundry.
I have a man that does the grocery shopping and cooking. So I think we each do our own laundry, and then whoever needs to do laundry grabs the kids' stuff.
That's a good division of labor.
I think you guys are changing your kids' clothes too often.
All right, what's one thing you hope that your children learn from you about being a mom?
What did you learn from me? Let's say that.
Not killing their spirit. Whoever our kids are, whatever they love, whatever they're into, supporting it.
I want your children to always feel they have their voice. Let them have their voice. You cannot suppress that, whatever it is. Give them the freedom to have their opinions and express themselves.
What's one thing that you guys hope you're teaching your kids by the way you're living?
To be engaged, to be a part of society, to take care of your fellow man, to have a heart for other people, and be a good listening for other people, and accepting. We're going to need that more than ever in the future, that people are able to accept one another.
What about you, Hannah?
All of that, but also I think just like having this like growth mindset and that they are going to make mistakes, that Miles and I are always there for them, no matter what kind of mistake they make, that they can always come to us and talk to us, and that making mistakes are part of life and that it's part of learning and it's part of the process. It's not a failure. I think that's something I see a lot nowadays with kids, is that something that's so hard for them, and it feels like mental health, just all of that. So I think really enforcing and instilling in them that it's okay, all these feels are okay. Not every day is going to be rainbows and butterflies either, and that's okay. It's like part of the journey. And yeah, just I think all of that is something I hope that they get from us. And as they get older and adventure into parenthood, if that is their journey, making sure to take care of themselves as well. I feel like that's something that is so hard to find time for ourselves, but also showing them that, whenever I'm going out with friends, or if Miles, as we say, like, daddy's having a play date and he's having time with his friends, and mommy's having a play date, like she needs this time as well. So like kind of just having this like well-rounded.
Good answer.
I hope that my kids learn from my example and Andrew's example that family over everything. We have prioritized it, and it's the reason we left California, was to be around family and to raise them around family and to be with each other, take care of each other. They see you, Mom, come over and how you take care and love on all of us, and how Andrew has Dad over to work out, and how, Hannah and I are best friends. And there's so much that I hope they learn from us. But I think the gift of our family is that we are so close, and that we do love each other so much, and that we always put each other first. And I just so badly want them. I want that for them, because it's the greatest gift of my life for sure. And I know your husband and my husband both feel like they won the lottery marrying into our family. So, yeah, I don't know. Okay, we're going to wrap this up. If you could describe motherhood in one word, what would it be?
Everything, all the things. That's 3 words.
It is everything. Definitely feels like the greatest calling. Motherhood really is everything. Katie and I love to say motherhood is a sisterhood. You are my actual sister. You are my mama's sister. And I love you guys. Thanks for coming on the podcast. And guys, we'll talk to you next Wednesday. Toodles.
Toodles.